Today's video is on the Kiss Acrylic or Kiss Nails Complete Salon Kit, which has everything in it you're gonna need for doing your nails at home, but it gives you the option to use nail forms or tips. If you're a beginner, I recommend tips because you don't have to worry about trying to shape your nails or anything. I've been doing my own nails for quite a while now, probably over 3 years, but I don't do them that often, so I'm still not the best at it. I definitely like tips just because it's easier. Before this video, I had only used nail forms one time, and that was on my mom, and they didn't come out very pretty. They didn't come out very pretty in this video, but I was able to shape them up and they look just fine. So keep in mind, this video is just a demo first impression kind of review. It's not a complete how to use this kit because again, I am just like you, doing my own nails at home. So here's how my nails came out. This pinky nail is the one that I used a tip on, just so you guys can see that they look exactly the same, except when you look at it this way, you can see that it's white and the rest of these are clear because the acrylic powder that you get in the kit is clear. But anyway, more rambling will be at the end of the video when I do the sort of first impression review, so let's get on to the demo. So for starters, I love the packaging that this came in for this kit. It's super adorable and it keeps everything nice and contained. And it has a little drawer on the bottom. I thought that was nifty as hell. It has all of your nail tips and your instructions. This kit actually comes with a really nice nail file for once. All the other kits don't. It's got a really nice manicure stick and the acrylic brush. I hate this brush. And then of course you have two choices of nail tips, natural and white, and I'm sorry if you can hear my cats screaming in the background, they're playing. And it seems they've also decided to run around, so I'm sorry for the noise. In the top portion of the little box you get your nail forms, and there's actually quite a bit of these, so I bet you could do multiple nail sets. A plastic dapping dish. I was unaware that you could actually use plastic. I thought they always had to be glass. A pink buffing block, which in the instructions says white for some reason. The Kiss Maximum Speed glue. This apple fresh scent. I forget exactly what it's called, but it helps mask the scent of the acrylic liquid, which smells awful. It didn't do too horrible of a job of masking it, but it didn't help very much. And then of course the acrylic liquid. The Kiss acrylic powder in clear. And then lastly is the Kiss acrylic primer. And then here are just a few extra things that don't come in the kit. Cotton balls, non-acetone nail polish remover. I just got this at Walmart. And then a couple other nail files if you so choose. The one on the right is a buffing one that will shine. Nail clippers, and then some cuticle oil that I got at Sally Beauty Supply. So to start, wash your hands and then use the nail polish remover to remove any polish or oil from your fingernails. Then trim and file the free edge of your nails just so that they're nice and prepped for nail tips. Use the manicure stick to gently push back all of your cuticles. And then I'm using the white side of the Kiss file to gently, very gently, stress the gently, buff the entire nail surface to get rid of any dead skin from your cuticles, any ridges, and it just helps the acrylic adhere better. And then I'm just using another cotton ball with nail polish remover to get rid of any of the dust off of my nails. And then here are your two options, nail forms and nail tips. I have only used nail forms one time on my mom and they came out terrible. They weren't too bad, but they weren't good. So I think that nail tips are better for beginners because they're easier to apply. The acrylic, you don't have to worry about shaping them onto the nail form or anything. So if you're a beginner, I would do the tips first, or go all in and use the nail forms. If you're going to use tips, make sure you line them up in the order that they go on your nail and start by gluing on your pinkies first, then your thumb. So take a small amount of glue, put it in the well area of the nail, and then carefully line it up over your nail, just the edge, and then press and hold for 5 seconds, or a little longer like me. Once you're sure it's nice and secure on your finger, then you can trim them to the length you like and then file them to the shape you like. By the way, if you've watched my other nail videos, hashtag squeeze the pinky squad. I don't know what to call that, but so many people were like, yeah, I hold my pinky like that too. Thumbs up if you just tried. After filing the shape, carefully buff out that ridge between the tip and your natural nail. Carefully though, because you do not want to file your natural nail too much. Then after that, we can begin applying the acrylic. Start with a primer. You only need a teeny tiny amount. Put it on only your natural nail and then let it dry. Then pour a small amount of the acrylic liquid into the dappen dish, and then 4 to 5 drops of the apple scent stuff, and then use the brush to just stir it around. Then to start out, I like to press out all of the air bubbles from my brush to make sure that I don't get air bubbles in my acrylic. And then just wipe off the brush a few times and then shape it up so that it's ready to start plying. I said ply. Oops. So get a small amount of the acrylic liquid on your brush, wipe it off on the edge a few times, and then carefully dip it into the powder until a ball forms. And then I like to start near my cuticle, so I place the ball on my nail and then I wipe off my brush a few times. This ended up getting a little too dry for my first ball because I had to mess with the camera a bit, but then I just used the brush to carefully push it as close to my cuticle as possible without touching my skin, and then I dip it into the acrylic liquid if I need to, because like I said, this ball got too dry. But then you're just going to use the flat part of the brush to just pat and shape the acrylic into a nail. And then the next ball I put on the tip or the middle of the nail, depending on how long the nail is and how much acrylic it needs. And I'm off camera because I'm the best YouTuber ever. And the rest of my nails, I am going to use nail forms. So here I'm just gently curving the sticker. It's a sticker. And then I peel it off and take out that little middle piece, and I just stick it on the other thing because you don't need it, and then tear apart the other end and then line it up underneath the free edge of your nail as best you can. It's kind of difficult, but you'll get it, I promise. Then once you have it underneath your free edge, pinch together the 2 little tabs on the front so that it stays curved, and then you can overlap the 2 flappy ends. I don't know what they're called. And then you need to apply primer to all of your natural nail. Remember, only a tiny bit. And then applying the acrylic is the same. Take a small ball and put it near the cuticle and then pat it out carefully. The only difference with nail forms is you have to actually form the tip, and then you also have to build up the middle a lot more. Like here, I put quite a big ball in the middle. I forget what they actually call this, but that's the point where it could break possibly because there's no tip in there to reinforce it. I guess it's a reinforcing ball is what I would call it. So here I am just building it up more, and then I'm gonna form the tip. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to shape it perfectly when you're first starting out because it's really hard to do. It takes a lot of practice. I'm not very good at it, but I do my best. And then afterwards, I just file it out into the right shape. So err on the bigger side so that you have more to file out if you need to. Then once I've got the whole thing formed, I just put one last little bead of acrylic over the entire thing to just encase it and make sure it's really strong and ready to go. I now have all my fingers done, and I'm still waiting for these 2 to dry. You know that they are dry when they make a loud ticking sound, and when they aren't dry, that's what it sounds like. Once you are certain they are dry, you can just peel the forms right off. Super easy, kind of fun. I don't know why. I love peeling them off. It's weird. And as you can see, I've got some wonky nails. And then you just use the black file to shape them and the pink one to buff them out. And then you can use a 3-way buffer if you want to make them nice and shiny and smooth. And voila, this is what my nails look like once they're finished. Then I'm just using some of the cuticle oil to put all over my fingers because they get kind of dry after all of that filing, and they look so pretty. They kind of look like glass. I love it. They will look even more like glass if you use a clear top coat on them. I didn't. This was just from the oil being on them. And then also shining them will make them look even better. Alright, so hopefully that was helpful. You can go places like Sally Beauty Supply and get all of your own tools because sometimes these kits don't come with everything you need, or they don't come with the best tools, like the brush. I had a terrible time with the brush in this kit. The kits I've had before from Kiss, I didn't have any issues with the brush, but this one was awful and it kept coming apart, and it was really hard to keep the acrylic out of it, even though I've never really had a problem with that. And then the nail files weren't too bad, but I would suggest getting one of the buffers that shines it. I didn't really shine my nails this time, but I painted them and they look fine. So extra nail files, nail buffers, nail shine, and obviously you're going to need cotton balls and nail polish remover. Those don't come in the kit. And I can't think of anything else at this point. I did the nails yesterday, so if I forget to include anything, hopefully I have said it in the voiceover already. Hopefully this video was helpful and enjoyable to watch, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Make sure you check down below for all the links to all my other nail kit videos or nail videos, and the video on how I dyed my hair like this if you want to see that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!